Hey there, tech fans. Rick here with a complete unboxing and overview of the Orei HDA-935 3-input, 1-output HDMI switch and eARC audio extractor and converter. This single product is really 3 products in one. It's a switch, which allows you to connect up 3 different HDMI media sources and then select between them and send that selected media stream to a single monitor. But in addition to that, the product also strips the audio component from that media stream and converts it if needed to eARC audio, HDMI audio, digital audio, or analog audio that you can pass along to a soundbar or home stereo system for the best possible audio quality. Now, before I get too deep into the review of the product, I always like to start with an unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you buy the product. And then I'll take a closer look at the HDA-935, and I'll explain the connectors and indicators so you understand exactly how to use it once you get it home. And then I'll come back at the end and point out a few things that are different about this particular product that you can use to compare it to other things you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the HDA-935. You'll also find a single 5-volt 1-amp DC power supply. This end you can plug into any standard wall outlet. The other end of that cord has a micro USB connection on it, which plugs into the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll also find a remote control. You can make your selection between the different media inputs by tapping the button on the front or using the remote control if you have it set up in your media room. Also included is a conversion cable, which is used for analog audio to convert the 3.5mm left and right connection to 2 RCA connections to make it easy to hook it up to your older stereos. And then finally, a full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details that you'll need to understand about the product to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the unit so you understand how to use it, and then I'll come back and remind you about some of the cool features this product provides that you can use to compare it to other products. Inside the kit, you'll find the Orei HDA-935, an infrared wireless remote that you can use to easily turn the unit on and off and make your selection between the 3 different inputs. You'll also find a single DC 5-volt 1-amp power supply. Again, this end can plug into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a micro USB connection on it, which plugs into the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. It's a really nice long cable, which makes that connection very easy. You'll also find an audio conversion cable included that converts a 3.5mm left and right port on the back to 2 RCA connections, which are found in older stereo, so this makes that connection to an older stereo very easy. You'll plug this into the port in the back, and I'll show you that in a minute, and you'll connect your stereo up here so you can enjoy the audio on that stereo. The product features a high-impact plastic case, which makes it very durable and lightweight. On the top surface, you'll notice a bit of a brushed effect there. It's a very high-tech look. It'll fit in easily on top of your desktop or in your media center. You'll also find a selection button that you can use to step between the 3 HDMI inputs and decide which of those is sent to the display. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find a full-sized HDMI port labeled input number 1. This connects to one of your media devices that you'd like to share with that single monitor. To the right of that are 3 LED indicators labeled N1, N2, and N3. These let you know which of the inputs is currently selected. So if you're using input number 1, this LED will be on. As you move through the inputs, the LEDs will change. To the right of that are 4 more LEDs for the audio outputs: 2-channel, 5.1, 7.1, and eARC. This unit can automatically detect eARC signals on your media equipment or your displays. If it finds an eARC signal, it'll light that LED, letting you know it sees the eARC and is using that audio standard. Other than that, you have a choice between 2-channel, 5.1, or 7.1. Depending on the audio equipment you're sending the audio from this to, you can make the appropriate selection, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. On the bottom of the unit, you'll find 4 rubber feet that protect the surface you set it down on, as well as 2 mounting holes you can use to mount this up off the ground and out of the way if you choose to do that. On the rear of the unit, starting on the left, is the audio select switch. That's where you'll decide if you're in 2-channel, 5.1, or 7.1 mode, and you can step through those by tapping that button. To the right of that is the DC input port. That's where the micro USB connection from the power supply plugs in. To the right of that are 4 audio output connections. Audio, which is a left and right analog connection. You can directly connect to that if you have a 3.5mm cable that's compatible with your audio equipment, or you can use the conversion cable included to convert that to 2 RCA plugs. To the right of that is an optical SP-DIF connection, and that's great for most of the newer soundbars, or if you've got a TV that can use optical SP-DIF. To the right of that is an eARC output that's used with soundbars and newer displays. And then finally, the 4th one is either HDMI audio or eARC, and that connects up to your display. So whatever you'd like to display the content from your HDMI media sources on, you'll connect up directly there. Finally, there are two more inputs, input 2 and input 3. These are all full-size HDMI ports. These connect to the other two media devices you'd like to share across that display. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few things that I really like about the Orei HDA-935 that you can use to compare it to other products you may be considering. The first thing, and I mentioned this already, is that the product is really two products in one. Normally you're looking for an HDMI switch that allows you to connect up a grouping of HDMI media sources to a single monitor and then use the switch to select which of those HDMI sources you'd like to view on that monitor at any given time. This product can handle that. It provides 3 HDMI inputs, 1 on the front and 2 on the back, that you can use for your DVD player, your game console, your computer, and then easily select between them by tapping the button on the top or using the remote control. But in addition to that, it also does audio extraction and conversion, which is a really powerful thing. So as that media stream passes through the HDA-935, it strips the audio component away from the media stream and allows you to convert that, if needed, to an eARC signal, an HDMI audio signal, a digital signal, or an analog signal that you can pass along to a home stereo or a soundbar for the best possible audio quality. That's a very powerful feature. It's also able to detect eARC signals. So when you plug this in, if your monitor's eARC capable or your devices are eARC capable, it knows that and it can turn on the eARC functionality. Another important feature is the product supports the latest in compliance. So it's HDMI 2.1 compliant as well as HDCP 2.3 compliant, which means with the HDMI side, it's capable of handling all the advanced functionality built into the HDMI 2.1 standard. And with HDCP 2.3, it means you can play all of your copy protected content through this particular product without issue. Another thing I like about the product is the power supply. I know it seems like a small thing, but this power supply terminates at a micro USB connection. Now these supplies will last a long time, but eventually you may break it, you may lose it, it may go bad on you, and you can run this without the power supply by simply connecting it up using a micro USB cable to USB-A cable to any media device you happen to use that has an open USB-A port on it, so you don't even need to use the power supply. Another really nice feature is the inclusion of the infrared remote control, because you can use this type of product on your desktop if you're switching between a few different computers on a single monitor, or in your media center if you've got a nice big widescreen TV or a projector that you want to use with your game console, your computer, whatever HDMI device you have. And the challenge is, if it's on your desk, you can easily reach that button, but if it's on your media center, you may be sitting back at your couch, you don't want to have to get up every time you want to switch the input. So having a remote control like this allows you to sit back comfortably on your couch, push a button, and have it move between the HDMI selections. Overall, it's a wonderful product. I've used it for quite some time. I like it an awful lot, and it just works really well. So I think you're going to like it as well. And that's pretty much all I had for today. So hopefully you found this review helpful. And again, until next time, stay nerdy.